Hello from Kirksville, Missouri. This is Randy Carbon, Rantin' Randy's Rant for 7/16/19. All right, as I was about to come in here, it looks like the House is passed the resolution condemning his racist tweets, which they are. And of course, let me say hello for a minute. Hello, Richard, and hello, Carrie. Glad to have you here. They are condemning him, and more Republicans, both in the House and in the Senate, are coming out defending Donnie's racist comments. Lindsey Graham has called the four of them communists. Projection. That's exactly what this is. They're projecting communism on them because what Lindsey Graham and Mitch McConnell and the President of the United States are doing is very close to communism when you have a man in charge that's going to decide how everybody should do, telling them to go back to their country. Only one was born in Somalia, but they're supposed to go back to their country. Man has no brain, and the Republicans are chicken shit to defend the man. They know he's a racist. He's always been a racist. Just look back at the 70s with his daddy. The government had to force them into not discriminating against blacks in the buildings they were selling and renting. I hate to get on it that much right away, but I am tired of this bullshit that's going down because of a dumbass that's determined he's going to keep the country. You know, this goes back a ways. You remember the first CPAC. This goes back to CPAC when Steve Bannon says, you think you're going to get your country back easily? You ain't. That's not his exact words, but that's what he was saying, that you're not going to get your country back. In other words, they're turning it into another country, and that country is not democratic. Republicans, for years, they don't want a democratic society. Hell no, because their side is dying out, number one, and there aren't that damn many young conservatives coming up, except them white supremacists, white nationalists, neo-Nazis, and that type. The scum of the earth. And this is what this man wants for a base. He doesn't want to rule for the majority. He wants to rule for the minority. And I'm getting sick as shit of this. Now he is seeking to end asylum seekers in this country. Now, what's he going to do about Mexico? Because the way they're wording it, you can't come through another country to get to this country. Okay. We'll see how long that lasts. It's not constitutional, not under the laws we have on the books now. But we'll see how long it takes them to figure out, ooh, that still means Mexicans can come in and seek asylum. So they're going to have to come up with some way to keep them out. And they will. All right, let's see who else. Hey, Fox 87, glad to see you. The 2003 novel Gilligan's Wake gives this TV character a yeah, but that's not all he does, Fox 87. How many times does he have to stomp on people before people will wake up and say, this is wrong? Everything he does is wrong. Everything he does is not democratic. It's autocratic. They want the fascist companies to take over our government, and they're doing a damn good job of it. Hello, Tina. Glad to see you. I don't know Fox 87 who he would face. I know no matter who it is, I'll vote blue no matter who. I have to because one hope that I will mention while this was brought up, this will be a good point too. I heard that Omash is going to run against Trump or thinking about it. What was that guy's name? Used to be governor, I think, of Ohio. But he's running against him. And it is shown in history when a president gets run against in his party, it makes it harder. He would still get nominated, but it makes it harder for him to run because he was having part of his voters drawn off to another Republican. So I find hope in that if I want a bunch of them to jump in and primary him, go after him, try for the nomination. I just wanted to mention this too. The ACLU is going to fight the trying to end. And this is asylum seekers from Central America. So it's pointed at the northern triangle of countries. And that's their only angle to possibly do anything. But the ACLU is going to fight this in court. This is against the law. We have asylum laws. He's making an end run around Congress again to do what he wants to do. Who was it that was saying that he hated the way Obama would come up with executive orders? I'm going to check into that too, folks. I'm going to find out how many executive orders this asshole has written, because I'm starting to think he's outnumbered what Obama had. We know that he spends more money in one weekend than 1 year that Obama went on vacation or played a little golf. I think we should all get him a big golf club as a pacifier and stick it in his mouth. As of midnight last night, the Trump regime is firing the USDA scientists. These are folks responsible for bringing up the fact that he is hurting the farmers with his damn Trump tax. Trump tax on China that he keeps lying and saying is coming out of the pockets of China. No, it's not. The billions you're taking in, you dumbass, are coming out of the American consumer's pockets. I've watched his prices here have gone up since you pulled this bullshit. But in any case, as of last night, the scientists who are unwilling to move to Kansas City, Missouri, right here in my state, will be fired if they will not do that. So they had until 12 midnight last night. So I guess there's a bunch of scientists that won't have jobs now. And see, that will slow up because a lot of their research is on climate change. And since he doesn't agree with that, they couldn't keep their jobs. That's why they inconvenienced them and were forcing them to move where they don't even have a fucking building to do the work. And again, because of this idiot, I have to go backwards. All right. His agenda is hateful and dividing people and families by making people others. Republicans should keep in mind You could become an other. You go against him, if you're a ethnicity, he can come after your ethnicity too. This is what Hitler did in the 30s, and it's shameful and cannot be and will not be tolerated by us, the majority. We're not going to put up with this bullshit. I don't care if it takes people protest every day of the week in Washington, D.C., and all across the country. We should also get out there when we find out about it. I don't think anything is being done as far as raids. If they're raiding, they're getting only a few people, and they're not going to take them straight to be sent out of the country. They're going to send them somewhere and hold them at $775 per person. And that brings me to a short subject here in the middle of this. Beau of the Fifth Column brought this up. Buying a $600,000 mansion or plantation, he called it, with 6 bedrooms. All right. He'd have 5 bedrooms for immigrants or asylum seekers. All right. $775 per person. That's about $4,000 a day when you've got that many. That's plenty of money to pay off that mansion in not even a year, and leaves about $32,000 per month just to take care of them, to teach them English, all the things they will need to assimilate. He says they can't do that. Yes, they could. And they're not going to do it from damn paid or for-profit prisons. That's not going to pay for it because they ain't doing nothing. They're not even taking care of the people. They're just taking in the money. Give me the money. Give me the money. I don't need to do anything for these damn prisoners. They can just starve to death. All right, you got to go backwards, folks. Get it all this shit written up, and then the big baby in the White House throws another temper tantrum and throws a monkey wrench into the news. Let's see where I want to pick up on here. No, let's talk a little more about what Donnie does. He distracts, he deflects, he projects on every problem he created. He created every problem he's got. And then points the finger at the Democrats or blames it on Obama or blames it on Bill Clinton or blames it on Hillary. That's all he does. That's to get you looking over at them and not at him. And I hope the Jews in this country keep up their protests. Never again. Because they see what's going on. And then Graham to talk about they don't love Israel. I beg your pardon, Lindsay. Since when do Jews not love Israel? They're a part of this country. They're American citizens, born here and all that, but they still think a lot of their country, but maybe they're not ready to see what happened in Nazi Germany, and that's going on our southern border right now. How many deaths is it going to take for you damn ass Republicans to wake up that your president, Donnie Dickhead, is a total screw up and he's trying to be Hitler? And you're going right along with it. You're fine with it. Your flimsy excuses. For example, Kevin McCarthy. Oh, how come they didn't get all over Omar? Omar may have made one little mistake, but it's nothing like what Stephen King up in, or Steve King in Iowa has done for years and years and years. He's a white nationalist. Hmm. Oh, new revelations from WikiLeaks. Assange was communicating with as many as seven. I'll give you some of the dates. Ecuador had three security companies covering the embassy while he was there. June 14th, 2016, DNC announces that they've been hacked. June 19th, Assange asked embassy to beef up their internet. He proceeded to have 7 meetings with Russians right there and others from the Kremlin with Kremlin ties. And that's according to the visitors log in the embassy itself. Nobody made up anything. This is all evidence that they have because of having three security companies. All right, let me go backwards again. But that made me feel pretty good. He's going to get caught up in it. And he should be. I didn't have a whole lot. I thought I was going to start out with Go Back Attack. Continues in Sunday with Lindsey Graham calling the congresswomen communists and all that. I already covered it because I had to go in reverse order because of all the bullshit that man causes every day. He's never satisfied. And it's always, he's distracting you away from the story he doesn't want you to know about. And yet he runs his mouth about it. And then Pence, little Mr. Roboto, or, excuse me, I'm upset. But in any case, that's what it was about. I want some likes up there, people. All right, let's see who else. All right, Brian, glad you're here. Be free. Thank you for coming. Oh, well, I just try to get out here and tell everybody how I feel. Yeah, the only way I would have anything to do with Bill de Blasio is if he ends up nominated and he ain't got the numbers, he ain't got the money. He's not going to be in it in the end. So I'm not really worried about him. Yeah, Richard, it makes me sick how they can just go ahead and vote, and a lot of the farms are going broke. This is what this is about. This is to put the small farm family out of business, and they know it, and that's why it's being done. Trump is backing them. He wants to make everybody have to buy their products from corporations. Well, hello, Sue Bingle. I haven't seen you here before. Some of the Republicans have said it was racist, but not very many. I can guarantee you when I walked in here to get ready for this, Brian, there was only one Republican that was voting in the House for the resolution. It might have come up some, but there's not that many. All right. Yeah. Well, thank you, folks. I enjoy bringing you this. Oh, Sue, glad to hear that. That's what I try to encourage everybody that's new here to follow John Brivideau at John Brivideau Speaks, the Blue Dot family. Go on over there, join, and become a part of this movement. blue dots. All right, let's see. I think that's about all I got for right now, y'all. Yeah, big money, big money. And that's what it's always about. In fact, in all this crime surrounding Trump, follow the money because that's what's there each and every time. All right, folks. I will be back on tomorrow. All right, got 2 likes. You make me feel good when I start seeing that number go up. Last one I did, I had 16 likes. Gained at least 1 subscriber. So we're moving this thing along. So I have great hopes for it. As you all know, it's for a very good uh, banana Republican. Freckless. All right. I certainly agree. Uh, he would like to be a dictator of a banana republic, and that's exactly what the Republicans would like to have too. Have a man that's totally powerful. And you know what really gets me about that, though, is that there are some people, and thank God they are in a minority, they want to be led. They want somebody to tell them, like the book 1984, what to do each and every day and keep you in uh, continuous wars and that kind of bullshit. And thought police, the whole 9 yards. If you don't like what he says, they will put your ass in jail. And that's what we're headed for, folks. So I will leave it at that today. Yeah, vote blue no matter who. Uh, that's my motto too, Richard. We have to. We got to have the biggest blue wave we've ever had. 2018 is going to look like an ant hill with the blue wave of 2020, which keeps me hoping and hanging in there. So, all right, folks. Tina. Yeah, you can count on it, Tina. I'll keep fighting. Uh, that's about it, folks. You get me wound up, and I'd go an hour or two on this because I can quickly go through the material, but there's plenty for tomorrow on Facebook. So I look forward to doing that. Peace, resist, persist, and insist that we get that orange thing out of our house. It is our house. We are the guardians of liberty, and we will take this country back. All right, folks. Have a good day, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye bye now. Share this shit. Get it out there.